ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। द्वन्द्वानि सर्वाण्यखिलास्त्रिपुट्यः किञ्चित् समाश्रित्य विभान्ति वस्तु तन्मार्गणे स्याद् गलितं समस्तं न पश्यतां सच्चलनं कदापि विद्या कथं भाति न चेदविद्या विद्यां विना किं प्रविभात्य विद्या द्वयं च कस्येति विचार्य मूल स्वरूपनिष्ठा परमार्थविद्या बोद्धारमात्मानमजानतो यः बोधः स किं स्यात् परमार्थबोधः बोधस्य बोध्यस्य च संश्रयं स्वं विजानतस्तद्वितीयं विनश्येत् निद्रा न विद्या ग्रहणं न विद्या गृह्णाति किञ्चिन्न यथार्थबोधे निद्रा पदार्थग्रहणेतरा स्यात् चिदेव विद्या विलसन्त्यशून्या सत्यश्चिदात्मा विविधाकृतिश्चित् सिद्ध्येत् पृथक् सत्यचितो न भिन्ना भूषा विकारा किमु सन्ति सत्यं विना सुवर्णं पृथगत्र लोके तद्युष्मदोरस्मदि सम्प्रतिष्ठा तस्मिन् विनष्टे स्मदिमूलबोधात् तद्युष्मदस्मन्मतिवर्जितैका स्थितिर्ज्वलन्ती सहजात्मनः स्यात् भूतं भविष्यच्च भवत्स्वकाले तद्वर्तमानस्य विहाय सत्यं हास्यान किं स्याद् गतभाविचर्चा विनैकसङ्ख्यां गणनेव लोके क्व भाति दिक्कालकथा विनास्मान् दिक्काललीलेह वपुर्वयञ्चेत् न क्वापि भामो न कदापि भामः वयं तु सर्वत्र सदा च भामः देहात्मभावे ज्ञजडौ समानौ एकस्य देहे हृदि दीप्त आत्मा आक्रम्य देहं च जगच्च पूर्णः परस्यमेयं तनुमात्रमात्मा अज्ञस्य विज्ञस्य च विश्वमस्ति पूर्वस्य दृष्टं जगदेव सत्यं परस्य दृश्याश्रयं भूतमेकं सत्यं प्रपूर्णं प्रविभात्यरूपम्. Now the talking about the 20th verse. Agnyasya vignasya cha vishvam asti. No, the 19th verse, yeah. Dehatma bhave jna jadau samanau. The jnaha, the one who knows, and then the jada, the one who does not know. Jada here doesn't mean inert, but in the understanding of Maharshi, if you don't know Atma, you are as good as a block of wood, inert. Okay, that is the idea. So might as well not even be alive if you don't know the Atma. That is the idea. So Agnyasya, and so there are two kinds of people here. One is Gyaha. Gyaha means the one who knows. Janati iti Gyaha. And since the Prakritam, the topic here is what is Atmajnanam. So Atmanam Janati iti Atmajnaha. So Gya, so the Gya and Jadaha. Gyascha Jadascha, Nyajadau. It's a compound, Dvandva compound. And so there are two people. Jada means one who is as good as inert. Because if you don't know the Atma, no, really, this is how it is. Go about life, one goes about life without even being exposed to the Atma, without knowing the Atma, without desiring to know the Atma. And the whole day is, the whole life is as though in a fog. You just automatically go from one place to another. And what makes you go from one place to another? Pursuing one desire after another. And some of them end in, few of them end in success, most of them end in failure. And then as a result of it, what there is, this one is like an automatic, everything is so automatic. Oh, weekday I have to work, 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 work. Weekend I just loiter and roll around and, do some same old things. And go to the mall, go to movie, go to do this, do that, everything. And so as good as not alive. Not alive means what? Not alive to the reality of oneself, not alive to the realities, not alive to, even if such a person interacts with the Jagat, it is mostly a utilitarian interaction. What can I get out of the Jagat? It is not to see Ishvara. It is not to see the beauty of the Jagat in every flower, in every tree, in every person, in every animal. To see Bhagavan, manifest. That is not the idea. Such a person will just use the Jagat as a milch cow. This is the Jagat is my Kamadhenu, meaning I have to just milk the Jagat, meaning manipulate the Jagat so that it will give me what I want. And what I want is a long list coming from several lifetimes, not just this lifetime, but the lifetime before, and the lifetime before, and the lifetime before, and the lifetime before. I want, I want, I want, I want, I have to have, I have to have, I can't have, I can't stand it if I don't have. I want it just now, I want it yesterday, I want it day before yesterday. This is the situation. So whole long list of wants, and then you just keep trying to check it off, but you can't ever check it off. And better use pencil because it will come back. That same desire, even after you fulfill it once, it will come back. Then you have to erase it because it's not checked out. It is still, even though you fulfilled it once, it is still there again and again, because what you're searching for is not the object of desire, but the one who is running around like a mad person, the subject. The subject that is running around, that is what you are in search of. And not knowing this is an extremely costly mistake, and that is that is what is being talked about here. And so it has to be, this has to be properly understood. So why he calls the person without knowledge as jada? The person is called jada because the person behaves as though they are not alive. They are as good as not alive to the realities of the Jagat, of Ishvara, of themselves, which is all one and the same. They just think the Jagat is a place where to, it's a kshetra, not to know myself, but it is a place where it's to fulfill my desire. And so I have to keep doing this, that, and the other, and I have to fulfill my desires. And so therefore, as good as jada. So the gyaha, the one of self-knowledge, and the jada, both of them are samana. They are one and the same. Oh no. Then why am I gaining this knowledge if they are one and the same? Better stop this. No, no, no. Just wait till the next line. It's just, just see the whole line fully. Dehatma bhave, with regard to with regard to identifying with a particular body mind sense complex, that is called dehatma bhava. The identification with a particular body mind sense complex, with reference to that, nyascha, jadascha, both of them are samana. They are one and the same. There, because as I said last time, if you go behind the guru and say boo, and then and if the guru jumps, what will you conclude? Will you conclude, oh, this guru doesn't have self knowledge? And then if you confront the guru and say, aha, you jumped, so you don't have self knowledge, then the guru will say, who said I jumped? Oh, but I saw you jump. Well, that was the body that jumped. I did not jump. The guru may say that. So this is what it is. And so therefore, because there is a certain kind of there are three kinds of identifications that is talked about by the Shastra with regard to one's body. And this is similar, this one is similar to the person of self knowledge, and also to the person who doesn't know the atma. What is the first one? Sahaja tadatmya. Sahaja means a natural identification. So if it is whether one is a jnani or not, if there is incoming traffic, and then you hear a car and you're walking, you will step aside. Even before you actually decide to step aside, the stepping aside has kind of happened. This is what is called sahaja tadatmya. So if you pinch the jnani will say, "Ow, stop it! What are you doing?" Naturally. So the jnani will feel pain. The jnani will have sensation of pain, and the ajnani will also have sensation, pleasure, pain, etc. That is all common. This is called sahaja tadatmya. There is another kind of identification, the two other kinds of identification, which only the ajnani has and not the jnani. The second kind of what is that? Tadatmya identification is called karmaja tadatmya. Karmabhihi jayate. And it is born of karma, born of karma. So there is an identification with a certain parentage, with a certain body. Oh, this body looks just like the father, just like the grandfather, just like the mother, that kind of an identification. Oh, I come from this particular kind of this particular kind of a lineage, not a guru lineage, but a family, ancestral lineage, and everybody has this problem, everybody has this kind of a some kind of a defect or some kind of a disease, whatever it is. And so the identification with that, it's called karmaja tadatma. Sahaja means it is just it is there. Janmana sahajayate, that which is that which is along with birth is called sahaja. This is inbuilt. The second kind of identification is called karmaja tadatmya. And then there is one more kind of identification, and that is called Bhrantija Tadatmya. Brantijam. So, Bhrantya, it's because of delusion. There is an identification with the body and the mind and the senses because of a certain kind of a delusion. And what's the delusion? This much only I am. And where the body ends, I end. So if you go like this, you're not touching me. This is not me. This is me. This is again not me. This side is also not me, but this is me. This kind of a identification is called Brantija Tadatmya. So, what is it that you can remove by Atmajnanam? And what is it that you want to remove by Atmajnana? So if you say, I want to remove Sahaja Tadatmyam, is that possible? No. Why is it not possible? Because it is Ishvara Srishti. That is why. Ishvara is bigger than you, and whatever Ishvara has set in motion, you cannot alter, you cannot change, and you cannot make it go away. Perhaps you can alter it a bit, but you cannot make it go away completely. You cannot remove what Ishvara has put here. So, because this sahaja tadatmya, the identification, a kind of a natural identification where one mind and one ahankara identifies with one body, this is the mm, this is Ishvara Srishti, this is the arrangement that a corresponding mind is and the corresponding sense organs are put in a corresponding body. Never does it happen that the frog mind is in the human body. Thank God. Otherwise, the fellow will be at meetings and a fly is flying around, will put out the tongue and try to catch the fly, regardless of all the people sitting there. But that never happens because the law is infallible. And that which is infallible is Bhagavan. So this has got Bhagavan's handprints and footprints all over this. This Sahajatadatmyam. So you cannot do anything about this. You cannot say, I want to be a jnani that feels no pain. I want to be a stoic jnani. Put me under some torture instruments, and I want to come out really looking so stoic. Not going to happen. Not going to happen at all. In fact, such a person will wail louder than others. Because this is a kind of a setup, Yeah. So you can't do anything about the first kind of identification. What was that? Sahaja tadatmya. Then can you do anything about karmaja tadatmya? The identification born of karma, belonging to a certain native place, a certain hometown, certain kind of ancestry, certain kind of parentage. Can you do anything about that? No. And so, because that also, why can't you do anything about that? Same reason as number one. It is Ishvara Srishti. Ishvara Srishti. You cannot just go and do whatever you feel like with regard to Ishvara Srishti. So this is part of Ishvara Srishti. No, but it has to do with my karma. Yes, your karma is also part of Ishvara Srishti. So therefore what? What are we left with? Then number three, Bhranti.
Brahmija.
Brantija tadatmya is what we are left with. And can we do anything about that? If you say no, I will say the closing prayer. We can end the class right here. Okay. So, can we do anything about that? Absolutely yes. Why? Because it is born of Bhranti. Does Bhranti belong to you or Ishvara? Let me think about it. Well, there's nothing to think about. Bhranti belongs to the Jiva. And if you think Ishvara has Bhranti means delusion. If you think Ishvara has delusion, that is definitely your own Bhranti speaking. Okay? So Bhranti means your own, delusion. So it's born of your own delusion, which you can definitely remove. Through how? Through Vedanta, Shravanam, Mananam, etc. Through the pursuit of Vedanta, you can you can remove the third kind of identification with the body, mind, sense complex, and that one you can remove. But what's the difference between the three of them? Well, in the first one, if the jnani is subject to some kind of pain, let's say they have a fall or they get into an accident, they will cry, they will say, "Ow," whatever it is, but the pain is localized to the body part which got hurt. The pain does not cross over into lamentations like my shani is in the wrong place and that is why this happened and my rahu is acting up, my ketu is misbehaving, bad boy, and so this is why I'm having all these problems. This is karmaja tadatmya. And then the Bhrantija tadatmya further wailing. And what does this wailing look like? Why me? Why only I had to come under this car? Because you were not looking on the road, simple. And that you were looking at your phone, simple. That's why you came under the car. But that's not how the person looks at. The person looks at it from a very different point of feeling victimized, feeling targeted, or some people don't feel victimized. They feel belligerent. Belligerent means, how dare this happen to me? I'm going to exact my revenge. I'm going to show the people who did this to me. So this is all examples of Brantija Tadatmya. Okay. So these are the three kinds of identifications with regard to the body mind sense complex. And so here when Maharshi says that dehatma bhavam samanau jnajadau, that this body mind identification is the same for the jnani and the ajnani. Which of these three is Maharshi talking about?
The first two.
Not first two, first one, that's all. First one, just the first one. So, the fact that there is a body and that it is capable of in recognizing sensations of pain, pleasure, comfort, discomfort, all this, that is all he is talking about. For the second one also, maybe he's talking about, but here he's only talking about that one in this particular verse. The second one also we can include, but since the jnani, the reason why it is not included here, it's a good point here. Why the reason why it is not included here is because the jnani does not have any tract with karma. The jnani doesn't identify with karma. In fact, the next few verses will talk exactly about this. There's a fantastic verse talking about what is that? The quintessential and never-ending fight between the concept of fate and free will. I can't wait to get to that. That is just, I'm rubbing my hands, waiting to get to that. I'm warming up for that. So therefore, this is only the first one that is talked about. Even though karma, technically we say, Ishvara is the karma phala data, the giver of the fruits of action. But still here, the jnani is not identifying with any kind of karma, not even prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma means the karma that gave birth to this body, and the changes in the body, etc., are due to which karma. That is called prarabdha, that which was set in motion before Atmajnanam took place. So, before one got enlightened about one's own nature, then one identified with this body and all the karmas that brought this body into being, let us say. And then after the enlightenment happened, after one understood, I am not this body, not the mind, why will they associate? Why will such a person associate with a little fever or a flu, or oh, I have this, I have that, I have measles, I have shingles, I have mumps, I have pneumonia. They will not say that. Even if they say that, they will not internalize that and feel like that this is my prarabdha, because there is no prarabdha, because there is no body identification. It's like a dead person's bank account. There is nobody to claim. The karma is there, and the karma is going through the body for the overlookers, the onlookers. Karma is there. The karma is going through the body, but for the jnani herself, himself, there is no such thing going on, because that person is disidentified strategically from the body mind sense complex. So they are not claiming the disease as their own, because they are not claiming the body as their own. Okay. So that's why the karmaja tadatmya doesn't apply here for the jnani. So only the first one here, in respect to the first one, like, okay, if you pinch an ajnani, ow, ow. If you pinch ajnani, ow. So that both of them will say, ouch. All right. And so that in that respect, both of them are what? Samano. who jadau. So the one who is as good as inert, because what a useless life, they haven't studied Vedanta. Nice way of trolling here. And then the one who is aware of their own nature, both of them have the capacity to feel pain and comfort, pain, pleasure, discomfort, etc. Then that is where the similarity ends. Then what happens? Ekasya dehe hridi deepta atma. Ekasya dehe, in the body of one of them. Which one? The first one. So this is kramena, this is like respectively. Okay. So in the body of the first one, what is there? Hridi, in the heart, deepta atma. Deepta atma. So the shining in the heart of the jnani is the I, the self, the atma. Oh, you mean in the Ajnani, the Atma is not shining? The Atma is shining, but there is no awareness of the Atma as I. The Atma is shining in the Jnani and the Ajnani. But the Ajnani is called Jada because the Ajnani is asleep to the Atma shining in the body mind complex. The Ajnani is asleep to the fact that I am Atma. This one, the Ajnani is fast asleep. And so, therefore, what happens here? Therefore, we see that there is a very interesting thing talked about, that both of them have the Atma, but one of them is aware of it where the I notion emerges. That is where the adhisthana of this I, the truth of this I, is right there. Jagataha upalabdhisthanam. So, where the Jagat is cognized, that is the same place where the Atma is cognized in the same Buddhi. The Adhisthana api, Adhishtanasya api, Upalabdhisthanameva. It's the same place where the Jagat is cognized. The truth of the Jagat, the I, which is the truth of the Jagat, is also cognized. So that Aham is understood very, very nicely by the Atma, by the jnani. The aham is understood as I, and then whereas, and then what does it do? Akramya means vyapya, having pervaded. Deham, having pervaded the body. Whose body? The jnani's body, the body of the knower of the self. Then jagat purnaha. Then that same Atma in the Jnani's awareness has gone forth to pervade the entire universe. I am the whole universe. This is why the Jnani is alive to this reality. So, the Jnani's Atma, this is a very specific way of putting it. It's not that there are two Atmas, Ajnani Atma and Jnani Atma, okay? Don't go there. It's the same Atma. The difference is that the Ajnani, who is Jada, who's as good as inert, is dead to this, almost dead to this knowledge, not aware, not alive to this knowledge. And so the Jnani's Atma alone is the one that shines brightly in the awareness of the Jnani, and then having pervaded this body mind sense complex of the Jnani sees it as going forth into the Jagat and wrapping everything else around, whatever name, whatever form it is doing pravesha. It has entered every single form, name, word, meaning. It has pervaded the entire Jagat. And so the Jnani lives with this kind of an understanding when 24/7, 365. Okay, 24 hours of the day. When the Jnani is sleeping? As though sleeping, as though waking. So 24 hours of the day, 7 days a week, and then to that we add 365 days of the year. This is how the jnani is. Nothing is separate from me. I am separate from no one. Everything starting with the five elements, the earth that I step on, the fire that I cook with, and the sun that shines is Bhagavan, is me, and is non-separate from me. The air that I breathe is nothing but me. And the rain that falls, the cool rain that falls in the summer months, is nothing but myself alone. The clouds that give shade, nothing but me. The trees, nothing but me. The bees, the flowers, nothing but me. And the rivers, the mountains, nothing but me. All other people, nothing but me. In laws, outlaws, nothing but me. Everything is me, 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 me. And then if everything is me, then there is no dukkha. The dukkha is longing for something you don't have. Dukkha means sorrow. There is no sorrow. How can there be dukkha when everything is you? And then there is no bhaya. Bhaya is again when something is other than you and it may attack you. So there is no dukkha, no bhaya. This is how the jnani lives. Whereas the parasya means for the other one. Which other one? Jada. It's, mayam means the measurement. The measurement. The only unit of measurement, that which is to be measured, is called mayam. Ma, to measure. So, second conjugation verb. So, the mati, like that, so to measure. So, this is, for the ajnani has only one measure. There is only one thing to measure. What? My body. Is it growing fat? Oh, no, 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 I have to lose weight. It is growing too thin. No, 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 I should eat more protein. It is sick. I should give it some medicine. Oh, now there is backache. I have to do something about that. Now the sides are aching. Now I have to swallow some pills. Oh, those pills gave an allergic reaction. Now I'm on to something else. And then now that also didn't work out. Maybe I should, go for what is that called? Ayurveda. Ayurveda means you're just pickled in oil, okay, for 3 weeks, and then you are set free. Somehow it works. Everything works because it's all Bhagavan. Everything works until it doesn't work. That's what it is. So this is the ajnani, just wallowing in the body consciousness as the only measure of life, as the only truth of life, as the only reality to abide in. But we know better. We know that this quote unquote reality which is abided by the ajnani is nothing but mithya. It is not satyam. It is not satyam. How can it be satyam? It is not satyam at all. And so it is only mithya. And so in this, but when you take the mithya to be satyam, then what happens? There is no more satyam. Satyam becomes mithya. This is the problem. So then mithya cannot be satyam, but the body is taken to be real. And oh, I have to, always nursing some problem. And then you just have to, and the body includes mind also. Please understand that. And so when you go to any kind of a gathering, and people, this is what people talk about. Oh, this is what happened to me, and this is what is thing. I don't feel good, and this is not all right. Especially after a certain age. If 70 plus year old people are sitting together, now what will they talk about other than the body and and the mind? And that is all they will talk about. And if some younger group, sit to group of people younger in age, get together, then they will talk about other things connected to them. My children, my family, my this, my that, my house, my this, and this is what it is. So this kind of a preoccupation with the body mind sense complex as I is the problem here. Tanu matram atma, the body itself is the atma, body, mind, and senses. And therefore, if the body is kept all right, then the mind is, then I am okay. If the mind is okay, then I'm okay. If the senses are okay, then I'm okay. That is what this person thinks. Who? The ajnani. The Ajnani is firmly convinced that I am as good as this body. Whereas for the Jnani, there is a whole I that encompasses this body, of course, but then goes beyond the body to embrace the entire universe. In the heart of the Jnani, our being is the nursery for galaxies, new galaxies that are supposed to come, and new stars, new planets, all in the heart of the Jnani where the Atma shines. Meaning, it's not that the Atma shines in the heart, but it's a place of recognition. Heart means buddhi ityartha. That's what we have to take it. Okay. So this is what it is. And then this is a pair of verses. The second one is also very similar. Let us read that. Agnyasya Vignasya cha Vishwam Asti. So, for both, the Agnya means the one who doesn't know. Actually, the Jada got a promotion here. So, at least Agnya, the person is being called. Before what? Jada. Now, Agnya. Agnya means opposite of Gnya. Gnya knows. Agnya doesn't know. Okay. So, Agnyasya, Vignasya means the one who has he could have also said Jnasya, but maybe for the sake of the meter and for the alliteration, he says Vignasya. And so Agnyasya Vignasya. And what is Vignya? Vigya means one who has Sakshatkara. Sakshatkara means who has direct knowledge of the I as Ishvara, gained from the Guru, who abides in that knowledge. And so that is what the thing is. Okay. So Agnyasya Vignasya, what? Vishwam Asti. Vishwam Asti. A world exists. So the both of them will agree that there is a world that they relate to. There is a world. Agnya also the non-jnani, the one who is not a jnani, they also has a world to relate to. What world it is, there we'll see that later. But Ajnani has a world to relate to, and the Jnani will also agree, yes, there is a world to relate to. Of course, there is a world to relate to. And so, what is this world? So, Purvasya, the first one, Drishyam, Drishyam Jagat Eva Satyam. No, Purvasya means the latter, okay? Yeah, no, Agnya, yeah, the former, the first one. For the first one, Purvasya Drishyam Jagadeva Satyam, the seen world, the contacted world, the world that is contacted with the five sense organs and little few other means of knowledge like Anumana, Arthapatti, etc. Anumana, inference, Arthapatti, complex inferences, and all other ways of knowing, the few ways of knowing things that we have at our behest. This is what is talked about. This is what it is called, is this is the Vishwa, the world of the Ajnani. Drishtam Jagat. Drishyam Jagat, the objectifiable world alone is Satyam. Objectifiable world alone is Satyam. First, let us understand this, and then the word by word, and then we'll go into the verse itself. So, for the first one, for the former, the objectifiable world alone is real. For the latter, parasya drishya ashraya bhutamekam satyam. So, that which is the truth of that which is objectifiable, the non objectifiable, formless truth of that which sustains every reality in the universe that is objectifiable, the empirical reality, that is Satyam for the Jnani. And what is its nature? Prapurnam, full, limitless. Purnam. Prapurnam means there is no doubt about its limitlessness. It is totally limitless. And then Pravibhati. It shines as I. Pravibhati. Prakarshena Visheshena Bhati. Iti Pravibhati. And what shines? How does it shine? Arupam. Formlessly it shines, meaning it is not an object. It is something understood as I. It is not, it does not shine as an object. The truth of the Jagat, the truth of the Jiva, and the truth of everything does not shine as an object. It just shines as I. That's why the truth is not objectifiable, because the is the subject, not the object. And therefore it shines, it is experienced as the I, but it is not that which has form. Therefore, arupam. Arupam. So, this is similar to the Bhagavad Gita verse. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sanyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato munehe. Very nice. So, there is a verse in the latter half of the second chapter and of the Bhagavad Gita. Ya nisha sarva bhutana. That which is, and it's a very kind of a cryptic verse, and you'll see why. That which is night for all the beings. Tasyam, in that night, Jagarti is awake. What? Samyami. Samyami means jnani. That which is the night for all the beings, in that night the jnani is awake. And so quickly everyone take notes. Jnani is a nocturnal being, just like owls, bats, all these, all these creepy crawlies that keep awake at night. So Jnani is another such weirdo who are unlike, because they have to be different from everybody. And so when everybody sleeps at night, this person has insomnia and goes around walking around. That is not the idea. This is all, as I said, cryptic and very metaphorical. So further it says, then it flips the thing around. Yasyam jagrati bhutani, that in which all the people are awake, sa nisha, for that is the night for the jnani, and the jnani is fast asleep. Yes, definitely weirdo, definitely nocturnal. We can think like that, but as I said, this cannot be taken literally. It's a figurative verse, very beautiful verse. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam, to that reality of the self to which all beings are asleep. Jada, as good as inert, as good as not, not even, it's not even a possibility. They are, ajnana nidra suptaha. So all these suptaha, ajnana nidra suptaha jivaha sarve. So all these jivas that are sleeping the sleep of ignorance. So these jivas are sleeping the sleep of ignorance, snoring the snore of ignorance, and they are just dead to this knowledge. That's why Maharshi calls them Jada, dead to this knowledge. dead asleep, not even a slightest curiosity, not even thinking, maybe there is something here, maybe I should look into this. Not at all. No, 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 this is the time to go to sleep. Not interested. Not even, does not even shine as a possibility. So to that knowledge, to which the ajnanis are inert and fast asleep, in that reality of that knowledge, the jnani shines awake. The jnani is awake and reveling in that reality to which all the people are fast asleep, all the ajnanis. But the Ajnanis wake up. When do they wake up? When some masala, some new, something nice happens, and then they are woken up. Oh, new, something has come to town. A new trend. It is trending on Facebook and Twitter, and what is that other place where they put photos? What is that called? Some gram, Instagram. It is trending on all three things. This is the main thing. This has to happen. This is what it is. And then all the ajnanis who were so happily snoring up till now suddenly wake up. Where? I want it. Where? Kutrasti? Where to go? Where to get it? Give me that now. And even the person to who showed them that they don't they are not opposed to biffing them on the head and then walking over them and reaching the place, because so urgent is the desire. And so these kinds of things attract the ajnani. There is a sale where, about 50 miles away, in one shop there is a sale. And then the Ajnani, this is the Ajnani life. So the people will drive, go there and pick up, fight with other people and pick up that item which is on sale, and then come back feeling like, oh, I have conquered something, forgetting completely that they have, if they had bought it in the neighborhood store, they would have paid the same thing which they used up in the money for gas, petrol. So this is exactly how it is. So but there is a certain self satisfaction. Oh, I have conquered it, I have got it. And so the jnani's world, the ajnani's world in which the ajnani is awake, is a world of objects which the subject is trying to pursue, catch, conquer, kill. This is the ajnani's world. The Ajnani's world is subject, object, subject, object. I am the subject, and then there are some objects. Objects are of two kinds: mine and not yet mine. To be made mine very quickly. So what is mine, I have to protect from other subjects, and then what is not yet mine, I have to grab also from other subjects. This is the Ajnani's Satyam. The satyam of the person who is ignorant of the I. The reality of the person who is ignorant of the I is just what it looks like in an American store on that horrible shopping day. What is that? After Thanksgiving, it comes, where everybody goes at 5 o'clock, and they never will they wake up at 5 o'clock. Never. But on this particular day, Friday, they will wake up. Oh, because it is Goddess Day. Not at all. Because because there is some sale happening, and then they will push each other. There are stampedes. People land up in the hospital every year. They will be in the news. People landing up in the hospital, but still there will be stampedes, there will be broken bones, but still they will go, and there will be one limited amount, because the companies, the big corporations want to create a scarcity so that they can sell their products. That's the only reason they create the scarcity. the limited edition. Only 4 are available, and there are 40 people. So half of them are busy, hitting the other 10 people, and then the other, so 20 people are busy hitting each other, and the other 20 people are, trying to snatch it from each other's hands. And then, so this is the reality. Unfortunately, this is the reality of what? Of the Ajnani. All the Ajnanis, this is the reality into which they are awake, in which they try to rebel and fail miserably. Something new, something shiny, and something, something like a comet, something which seems to be scarce. So it has to be gone after, it has to be got. And what other reality of the Ajnani? The other reality is frantically trying to keep what they have acquired, like health, wealth, and family members. Everybody should be okay. And they even scold God. Why did you make such and such a person sick? How dare you do that? And you should have not done this. They even scold Ishvara. Why did you do this? And so this is how, this is the Ajnani's world. The Ajnani's world, which is full of just strife, conflict, and what else is there? Dissatisfaction, discontent, self-loath, criticism of others, and of course self-judgment. Because once you judge yourself, you judge others naturally. Self-judgment, self-loath, critique of others. What a sad life. What a sad life. The Ajnani keeps on making lists. I want this list, that list, and then at the end of life, there is a bucket list. Before kicking the bucket, I have to go here, I have to go there, I have to get this, I have to get that. This is the Ajnani's day. Okay. What is the Jnani's day? The Jnani's day, by contrast, is glorious. Nothing to want. Why? Because what one wanted, whatever one wants, is gained through this knowledge. Why? Because that is all that one wants. All that one wants is to get rid of the ajnanam, the ignorance connected to the I, centered on the I, which makes one sad, angry, upset, and gets into this scarcity mentality. I am not enough, I don't have enough, nobody cares about me, and for that matter, I don't love anybody either. This is the Ajnani's life. Sad. And it is sad because the main thing to lose is the Ajnanam, and the poor Ajnani here does not know that. Does not know that. But for the Jnani who has gained this knowledge that I am the seeker, I am the sought, I am the one that is the that was ignorant. Now I have this understanding that I am no longer wanting, because I have gained the truth of myself as always happy, limitless, and without a second, and everything belongs to me, nay, it is me. This is the jnani. This is the daytime of the jnani. And then you invite the jnani to a movie or to some kind of a party. The jnani will just oblige you perhaps and go there, and then just snooze off there. That is what will happen. Literally snooze off. He finds it very boring. And I can never forget, my teacher used to tell this story when he first started to study. He used to go to classes, Vedanta classes. Swami Chinmayananda ji was teaching, and he used to go to the classes and to study. And he would come back to his house. And, he was a young man, and so he had lots of friends with whom he used to go to movies, and they used to hang out in each other's houses. They used to go to movies, they would just sit and talk or something like that. And then, the once he started to get interested in the Bhagavad Gita and in other such texts, the desire to to go to movies, etc., was not as much. It was not as much at all, because he had already started the journey of awakening to the truth of himself, and so these kinds of things did not really attract him so much. Yet he had some affection for the friends who would come to his house and then say, "Hey, there is a new movie in town. Why don't you come?" And Swamiji would say, "You know what? There is a new chapter of the Bhagavad Gita just starting today for satsang. Why don't all of you come with me?" And nobody would be interested. Nobody would be interested. And after a while of this back and forth, they stopped inviting him to movies. And Swamiji stopped inviting them to satsang and all kinds of, spiritual talks and bhajans and kirtans. So they, they agreed to disagree and go on with their own lives. And in fact, one such person I met, a long friend of Pujya Swamiji's, and he said, "I have known Swamiji since first grade in school." And of course, I was very, excited. I said, "Oh, what was Swamiji like when he was 6 years old, 5 years old?" And then he said, "Well, he was very naughty. He used to get into all kinds of scrapes, and he was extremely naughty." And so, this is something to give you a context. I had gone to see Swamiji in a very, very crowded hotel suite, and there was some whole group of school children, part of this All India movement for Seva. So there was a whole group of school children, and the hotel suite wasn't that big, and it was just huge, and they were just sitting and talking to him, and he was addressing them. So I just stood by the door because I didn't want to disrupt this, and I was just enjoying seeing this. So then at this time, this elderly gentleman, I waited for the children. They were slowly receiving their prasad and then filing out of the room. So I said, let them all go, then I will go and greet Swamiji. So I was just standing there, and this elderly gentleman came and struck up a conversation with me. He introduced himself and he said, "I have been a childhood buddy of your Swamiji." I said, "Oh, that's wonderful. So what is he like?" All this we were talking. And then, in the course of our conversation, the room started to empty out a little bit, and a little more and a little more. And then he said something, I am not made for this knowledge. I have, attended a few lectures. Of course, whenever, he comes to my town, etc., I do go. But he said, I have not, but I'm so attached to him since I was 6 years old. And whenever I go to his talk, he says, drop all attachments. And then here I am so attached to him, I don't know what to do. And to my surprise, Swamiji, who was slightly hard of hearing and who was sitting quite far away, because remember, we were at the entrance of the suite, and Swamiji was sitting inside the suite, inside the hotel room, and there were so many other children talking loudly. Still, he heard our conversation, and he heard what this gentleman said. And so from there, his answer came. It's okay if you're attached. It's okay if he's attached, because the attachment is only one sided, he said. And so that was such a teaching moment. And it was just very sweet, very, very beautiful. And so that is what the Jnani's life is like that. There's nothing to put down. There is just always, to uphold the people, and there's nothing to put down, nobody to compete against, nothing to want, nothing to let go of, and nowhere to go, nothing to avoid, nothing to pursue. And so this is the Jnani's day. And all this other jibber jabber, this kind of a crowded life of go here, go there, fight with this one, and go, hit that one, and then be hit by someone else. All this, the Jnani says, good night, not for me. And this is exactly the purport of this verse that we are that we just sort of saw the meaning of. We'll see a little more tomorrow what all it means. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.
Thank you, Amma.
Thank you. Take care.